Well, this is already... We already screwed up. We are a horrible spy. I don't know why the sages sent us. We are bad at this. You don't know how long you slept, but it surely wasn't a comfortable rest. Given everything that happened, unsurprising. Finally, you regain consciousness bit by bit, but you still feel like you're wrapped in batting wool. A dull... The words are not... Don't dyslexic them. A warm, dull feeling fogs your mind while you squint hard at the bright light above you. Lamp. Walls. Cold, bare walls. With some effort, you manage to realize that you're lying on an icy cold floor made of metal. I can read, okay? I did not expect to get this, even whenever I said, oh yeah, this is probably an easier one to get, like the good option for, I proceeded to mess it up. Thanks, dice. I appreciate it. The dice gods are either smiling upon me or hating me, because as I like these kinds of things, I've pointed this out in other things, but yeah, I really like this kind of stuff, and it shows. The room you're in is small, without furniture, and has only one piercing lamp on the ceiling. Can the lights be turned down a little? You hear a low, muffled buzzing, but whether it is real or just an after effect of the drug, you can't tell. Your whole body hurts, especially your neck. Gradually, your memories return. The village, the ball, Dottore. Carefully, you touch the spot on the back of your neck that hurts the most, but to your surprise, you bump into something unexpected. Cold metal. A faint rattling sound. It's definitely a metal collar on a chain. Still half stunned, you manage to turn your head and spot the wall to which the iron chain is attached. With trembling fingers, you grasp the chain and give it a test tug. But with the limited strength at your disposal right now, you have no chance. Also, it's metal. I really don't think a random person like us has any chance of getting out of this. The rattle of the chain seems to have caught someone's attention. At the very least, you hear echoing footsteps that seem to come from the other side of the sturdy-looking door on the opposite wall. The footsteps fall silent, and you hear the rattling of a bunch of keys. With a jerk, the metal panel opens. Anyways, hello, welcome to Webtore is in this game. The first time I played this, the first route I ended up getting, I never ran into... Oh, wait. Yeah, no, I don't think I ran into him once. So yeah, we... Here he is. There he is. In all his glory. You recognize him. He seems to be the Dottore who has shown himself most in public in the past. Still trembling, you try to sit up, but coordination of arms and legs doesn't quite work yet. Watching your pathetic attempts, the young version of Dottore grins in amusement. The drug does not seem to be doing you any good. I'd expected a little more resistance. Alright, not that this one matters. Where am I? As hard as you try, your lips are so numb that you cannot utter a word. So it really did not matter in any sense of the word. Still watching your attempts to sit up, the young man shakes his head with a laugh. I really expected more. After all, you seem to have piqued his interest. The tingling sensation in your arms and legs gradually subsides, so you can feel the cold floor beneath your fingertips. Dottore is still standing in the middle of the door, which is wide open. He knows very well that there is no possibility of escape for you at the moment. You seem a little confused, huh? Should be clear to you why you are here. What are we gonna say? What are we gonna say? Yeah, we know why. He probably knows why already. We have those notes. They probably know. I know why. You open your mouth, but nothing can be heard except an indefinable sound. No chance to speak up. These faux choices are really... really not mattering. Okay. Once again, a laughter escapes Il Dottore. Whatever the reason may have been, your physical condition is certainly not the cause. The only remaining possibility is that he saw something interesting in your mind. Well, whether he was wrong about that remains to be seen. In any case, you don't make a particularly bright impression at the moment. He turns on his heel, leaves the cell, and shuts the door slowly. He will soon make other acquaintances, assuming that you survive the next few hours. Don't run away, understand? Acting surprised, he laughs out loud and falls into a spiteful giggle. Oh, well, you can't. With a gesture, he points toward you. I can words. Even though Kayal cannot words, I swear I can. With a gesture, he points to your neck. By the way, entertain me, us, if you want to keep all your limbs. Then he closes the door, turns the key in the lock, and disappears with quick steps. Silence falls. Oppressive silence. This music needs to stop cooperating with me. It really... This is what, the third time this happened in this video? This is ridiculous. The buzzing in your head is still there, preventing you from thinking, while the remaining numbness paralyzes your body. How long this state lasted, you cannot say. Time passes sluggishly. How long have you been sitting here? Several hours? A few days? Your stomach begins to grumble. Your throat becomes progressively drier. It helps that my throat is slowly getting worse and worse as I'm talking. Like, ugh. I've been speaking too much today, and it's wearing on me. It's helping a lot, thanks. How long would he leave you sitting here? When would you have the opportunity to get out of here again? Finally, at last you hear footsteps approaching. At first you can't believe your ears, and you clearly hear the key turning in the lock of the door. Il Dottore, but another one, older than your last visitor. He stands quietly in the doorway for a while. Whether he looks at you, you can't tell. Then he enters, removes the key, and lets the door fall into the lock behind him. With slow, very slow steps, he comes closer. Obviously, he is waiting for your reaction to his presence. How are we going to react? Because this time, it's actually going to have a impact on at least the next message or 3. Not on the actual plot route we get, but... We are going to remain quietly seated. Okay. Alright. Il Dottore slows his steps again, but she remains sitting still and rigid. Like a deer in headlights. Or whatever the Genshin equivalent is. An almost gentle smile creeps onto Il Dottore's lips. He is different from his previous visitor. Completely changed. Then he stands in front of you and looks down at you wordlessly. With slow, gentle movements, he kneels down and apparently fixes his gaze on you. As if in a trance, he lifts one hand, places it gently against your cheek, and strokes down to your chin, barely noticeable. So you are the new... What did he call it? Ah yes, plaything. His initially gentle smile turns into a wry grin. Aren't you curious about what lies behind this door? You are lucky, because now the time has come for you to leave your small, cold cell. Don't look at me like that. What are you? A domesticated puppy or a tiger in captivity? You stare at him with wide eyes, so he starts to laugh softly. Again, he gently strokes your cheek with one hand. You're wondering where he is, aren't you? Prime, I mean. Alright. Alright. True. Where... Before you can complete your sentence, he puts an index finger to your lips, silencing you. Soon. He will take time for you soon. He hasn't revealed why he chose you yet, but there aren't many options. Finding new material was the only reason he attended the ball. This time, unfortunately, it was you. His hand moves to the chain with the collar that holds you close to the wall. Ready for a short trip, little tiger? A dull, loud buzzing pierces your head, making you dizzy and turning your vision black. Sweet dreams. Oh boy, here we go. Another new ceiling. Another bright light. Reverberating footsteps in the far distance. You try to sit up, but quickly realize that you're unable to do so. Finally, you realize that you are lying on a table. An operation table with straps that restrain the body. Not that it matters, but it would help if I actually could roll it on a solid surface. God dang it, not another dice! Here's it. I just dropped the dice I picked up onto the floor. Dice number 4. Oh, don't! God. It didn't fall off, but it landed on my leg. It's like, oh no, not another one. Okay, we're now gonna make a choice. Dottore? The footsteps next to you switch to the other side, but you can't see anything. Finally awake. You took your time. A harsh laugh resounds through the room. It has come to my attention that you have requested to see me. Dottore? Prime? Precisely. The footsteps get closer, and out of the corner of your eye, you can spot him standing next to you. He is wearing different clothes than at the ball, and now looks confusingly like the last visitor in your cell. Could it have been him who visited you in the cell? Who knows? Yeah, to this day, hi. That's our first gallery. That was not our first gallery entry image. We got one earlier whenever we got captured. You know the one. This is our second one we've got. As I was going to say, to this day, I still don't know if the Dottore we were talking to earlier, I don't know which one that is. Because a little bit of a spoiler for Dottore and the Spy 2, we do get to meet some of the different segments. And I don't know which one that previous one is. I will be real with you. I don't know if it's Prime. I don't think it is. I could be wrong. But I just don't know which one it is. It's definitely not Webtori. That's all I know. Well, time is scarce, and especially I am aware of this fact. I have a tight schedule and already give you more attention than you deserve. He grins as he brushes the back of your hand with his fingertips. Nevertheless, here I am, against the advice of my other selves. His hand wanders further up and pauses where the strap ties your wrist to the table. The following scene can be either pleasant or unpleasant. It entirely depends on your decision. You open your mouth to ask a question, but Dottore is not giving you a chance. What decision, I mean? Whether you cooperate or not. Of course, all options are open to me to force you to collaborate. But where's the fun in that? After all, it's the unexpected resistance that makes things really interesting. He turns away from you and searches for something outside your field of vision. You recognize the sound of him putting on a pair of fresh vinyl gloves. Then he appears in your sight again. A new test subject, new things to discover. You certainly don't object to a little investigation, do you? Are we going to? Yeah, we are! Don't even try. Oh, a feisty one. That's going to be interesting. Just how I like it. And so he begins. The first shackles come loose, giving you some movement freedom. Carefully in unusual quiet, he inspects your body, starting with your hands. To your surprise, he's very gentle and careful. The slight touch of his fingertips on your skin gives you goosebumps. He seems to somehow know about your physical condition, and you start to wonder if he knows more about you than you thought. For a moment, he turns away, walking over to a tiny table with various medical instruments. Your gaze quickly drifts over to the other side. The door. Only a few meters away. Alright, what's happening? Because I'll be honest, I don't remember if this one matters. I do not remember. It's been a while. I've not gone down this route recently. Okay, so we are going to try to escape whatever that ends up doing. Please don't get the ending that has like 3 different ones. I beg of you, game. Without another thought, you jump off the table and dash over to the door on shaky legs. Fear fogs your mind as you focus the exit with wide eyes. Instantly, the blood rushes to your head, and only a few moments later, you lose the ground under your feet. Huh. Just as expected. Well, let's forget this little incident and continue with the agenda. Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. Because I kind of want to keep that ending like as its own like video so I can show all of those at once. I got really nervous there for a moment that was gonna do it. Thank you. Thank you. Still half conscious, you feel his hands grabbing your arms as he drags you back to the table and restrains your body again. He holds a scalpel in his hands, which flashes in the harsh light of the lamp. Dottore pauses in his movements, eagerly awaiting your reaction. Alright, how are we reacting? Okay, cock thing, that's fun. Stay still, okay, yeah, alright. We're done being feisty for now. Satisfied, he grins, steps closer to you, and caresses your stomach with the tip of his fingers. I could end your life here and now, but that would be no fun. With slow, controlled movements, he puts the scalpel aside and supports himself with his hands on the table. You have a choice. I will either test your physical resistance or your psychological resistance. Or neither. Which one do you choose? Okay. This one matters, and is unironically the choice that earlier when I said about, like, keeping the notes, like, that gives us the ability to get a certain ending. I might get that ending. So, okay, so this one is a 3 choice. We don't have many of those, but for reference sake, 1 and 4 are going to give me the first one, 2 and 5 are going to give me the second one, and 3 and 6 are going to give me that third one. Let's see what we're getting. That's a 2. Alright. So, these 2 choices are going to get us our first ending. And that'll be the end of this video, is we'll get this one. It doesn't matter which one you choose, it's gonna be the same regardless. This one would have gotten us another ending. So I'm actually gonna save here so that I can easily pull this up later if I want to just go from here. Because I actually have, like, I like that I can get to that pretty quickly. The psyche. Very well. I love seeing test subjects volunteering for testing. That was not what... Shh. Don't ruin this moment. Everything is ready, and I am sure you can't wait to be of use for me. Am I right? He steps closer to the surgery table and leans down a bit so that the tips of his hair almost brush your nose. In a lowered voice, he continues. I am sure that we can both accomplish great things. I plan and perform the experiments, while you enable me to do so by volunteering your body and mind to me. Your thoughts race, your heart seems to burst. You realize that he is completely insane. And the worst thing is, you don't know yourself whether he is right with what he said or not. By the Archons, what is he even thinking? This man is delusional! Dottore interprets your short silence correctly, so that he starts to grin. Doubts. It was you who volunteered for my tests, wasn't it? You appear to be a stranger to your own motivations, for you seem surprised, even astonished. Unpleasantly, almost crushingly gentle, he strokes your cheek with his fingertips. I know exactly the way you think. You are tired. Tired of all the work, the obligations, and you want nothing more than to be appreciated. No one recognizes your efforts and shows acknowledgement for what you do. You just want to be valued for what you are, because you no longer have the strength to shine through extraordinary performance. You are simply too exhausted. And yet, you look for confirmation and praise and completely waste yourself in the process. You pretend and force yourself to do things that are not profitable at all. His words are unpleasant, not because of his completely twisted views, but because there is more truth in them than you want to admit. His voice has something reassuring about it that you didn't notice before. You can let yourself go. Relax, because distorted results are the last thing I need. Gently, his gloved hand rests over your eyes. Of course, you are aware that such important attempts bring pain from time to time, but since you have made it this far, it shouldn't be anything you can't bear. All of a sudden, you feel how tired you are. Your whole body is crying out for rest. Despite the fear that you might die here, this place doesn't seem quite as strange to you as it did before. Don't worry. You are more of use to me alive than dead. Your mind is unique, so it would be a shame not to gain an even deeper insight into the abyss of your soul. As you gradually drift into deep sleep, his voice accompanies you. After some time, you awaken. He, or someone else, has taken you back to your cell. The metal chain is gone. Instead, you notice that you are now lying on a soft blanket rather than the cold floor. You are alive. He has kept his word. Unconsciously, you seem to have been awakened by the sound of approaching footsteps, because just at that moment, the door to your cell opens. Ah, awake again. You nod and sit up. Only now you feel how hungry you are and wince, accompanied by the grumbling of your stomach. Dottore rolls his eyes and starts scratching his head with one hand. The fact that you mere mortals always have to eat is pretty lame. Wasted resources and time. Of course, one can put this time to good use. Although this Dottore has no empathy for you, he continued providing you with food he brought along. The meal was simple and tasteless, but it kept you alive. Nevertheless, he did not allow you to leave your cell. Prime really seems to fancy you. Surprising, because he's not really one to rush things. Dottore turns away from you and opens the door to leave your cell. This one would be a chance to escape. Maybe even the last one. Okay, I lied. I'm pretty sure... Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it actually doesn't. Are we gonna find out, or am I gonna have to find out later? We are gonna find out later. I'm gonna do another save here. Let's do another save there so that I can check and then in post-editing say whether that actually did get me a different ending or not. But we're just gonna surrender to fate. For a moment, Dottore pauses in his movements, and it seems as if he is waiting for you to take advantage of the moment to escape. I'm sorry, I'm not escaping. Free food. I don't know. You seem to have already come to terms with your situation, or am I mistaken? Chuckling with amusement, Dottore finally leaves your cell and locks it from the outside. Surely he knows what he's doing. You listen to the echoing sound of his footsteps as he leaves your cell. Again, hours pass without anything happening. You realize that Dottore, whether prime or not, has many obligations and such. And although Dottore's presence triggers nervousness in you, you prefer his presence to the solitude in the cell. This thought worries you. It should worry you. But I just love that. It's like, this thought worries you. What sane person would wish for the company of a lunatic? Unfortunately, humans are kind of social creatures, so isolation is like this at all. Like, complete isolation from everybody is not necessarily good for the mind. Finally, you catch yourself thinking that it's not just the stifling loneliness. It's Prime himself. That aura, that spark of unpredictability is what makes you curious. A sudden knock on the door snaps you out of your thoughts. Who's there? You hear a soft, familiar chuckle and the click of the key in the lock. The door swings open and Prime, or so you assume, enters. Okay, so that earlier one could have been Prime? I don't know. I do not know. If the creator wants to tell me which one it was, go ahead. If you don't want to tell me, that's fine as well. I don't need to know that badly. I see you are awake and seemingly invigorated thanks to the small meal. You nod, but remain seated. Your thoughts are already circling around your suspicions as to why he might have sought you out. From the look in your eyes, he seems to be able to guess your thought process and tilts his head. Don't clutter your little mind with thoughts of what could possibly be. Calm down. You don't have to think anymore. You just have to do what I ask of you. Believe me, you will like it. Dottore steps closer and looks down at you silently, thoughtfully. Are you bored? Alright. Not in your presence! Oh god, okay. You seem to have settled in quickly. Excellent. Behind his back, he pulls out a long, wide ribbon. I have some things planned, but not for here. Following his small hand gesture, you rise and now stand silently in front of him. You yourself notice how tense you are and ponder what he might have planned. This is purely a precautionary measure, even though it is unlikely that you will ever tell anyone about this. I must make sure that you see as little of this place as possible. Gently, he lifts the ribbon and blindfolds you with it, while you hold it still in anticipation. You know how right he is. Never again will you leave this place, and no one will miss you. Your goals, your studies, your dreams, all that has become meaningless. You are nothing but the property of the Harbinger in front of you. Then you feel his hand on your back as he leads you out of the cell. You can't tell how many steps you took, but neither of you loses a word on the way to your destination. Hearing the opening of a door near you, you then feel the threshold beneath your feet. Then the ribbon around your head loosens and returns your vision. This place will soon be as familiar to you as it is to me, believe me. What feeling you will associate with this room is entirely up to you. You settle down on a chair illuminated by a bright light, while Dottore slips on new vinyl gloves. Well, we have a lot planned, so let's not waste any time. Hours, days, and weeks follow, which you spend with experiments. It is usually unpleasant, but quitting now is out of the question. The progress you make in exploring and improving delusions makes Dottore surprisingly pleased. The other segments you encounter from time to time view you with a mixture of suspicion and fascination. They think the time Prime devotes to you is wasted, but the successes you are achieving make them curious. A few hours a day in the lab turn into more, until you end up eating and sleeping there. The same goes for Prime, whose behavior increasingly resembles an obsession. He loves his research and skips meals or other things for the sake of it. How long it has been since you first woke up in your cell is unclear. Your hair is getting longer and longer, so that is the only clue you have for estimating. Prime also realizes that time is passing. Time. It's something he has a special connection to. He doesn't seem to worry about his own aging, but he realizes that the same is not true for you. From time to time, you think back to your initial mission and can't help but look at Dottore's work with a certain unusual interest. The papers he scribbles on, the small notes he adds, all of this would have been more than enough to get you back into the academia. Still, as time passes, the cold, bare walls become familiar to you, just like Dottore himself. Kayal, come here. What is it? About the research on the delusions. Our progress is becoming progressively less and less. Am I right? Don't worry, it's exhausting, but I can stand it. That's not what it's about. You feel him run a hand over your head. Time. It's about your time. You've been able to gather some knowledge about the other segments and their creation by now, haven't you? His hand lingers on your shoulder as he looks thoughtfully at the floor. You still have enough time left, but I do not intend to let it get that far. What are you thinking about? There is still so much unexplored, so much that your time would never be enough for. I'm going to change that. Close your eyes and do as I say. As you wish. He leads you by the hand through the lab, up a metal step, and then lets go of you. For a moment you stand still and wait, feeling the cold metal under your feet. Then a hiss follows, accompanied by a mechanical hum. After that, everything falls silent. Muffled, as if through thick glass, you hear Dottore voice. I can words. Don't stop breathing, no matter what. You nod as you feel something wet on your feet. The liquid continues to rise, and you know that the glass cylinder in which you are standing in is closed at the top. The room fills rapidly with the cold liquid, so that it soon reaches your neck. Remember, keep breathing. Again, you nod, while your heart beats like crazy. It's too late to flee now. There is no turning back. The cold water now completely fills the glass chamber in which you are floating. You gather all your courage and take a deep breath. The liquid enters your airways and spreads through your lungs. No matter how much you believe in Dottore's words, you begin to fidget and twitch. Air. You need air. Panicked thoughts overtake you as the stabbing pain swells in your lungs. Get out. Immediately. Your entire mind is screaming for help, but all that escapes from your mouth are the last bubbles of air from your lungs. The pain gradually subsides as your body comes to rest. Kyle, look at me. The next time you wake up, nothing will be the same as it was. Tiredness takes over your body once more. You try to keep your eyes open as hard as you can, but the deep, dark sleep that awaits you cannot be defeated. Anyways, that is our first end we are getting, Immortal. I think that one's 3? Yeah, it's 3! Oh, the obsession is still there. Okay. Obtained upon volunteering to be a test subject and becoming Dottore's obsession. So you get that ending, as I said earlier, by getting to the point where you have been on the operating table and he offers you the choice of either being a psychological, physiological, or neither test subject. You gotta choose one of the ones. You gotta basically volunteer yourself, as it says. The other option, as I said, will get us a different ending, and that actually depends on whether you kept the notes or not. So that is all I'm going to do for this video. Next time, we will explore a couple more options that we have. I don't know which ones yet. It would make sense to get that other one, since keeping the notes is kind of... That's the only one that it really, really matters for. And then I'm gonna get... So yeah, I think I'll get that ending. And then I'll get... You know what? I'll figure it out when I get there. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this first video. Until next time.